let's go. Good afternoon.
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
Let's get on in here. Let's go, man. It's your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and rocking with me, man. My apologies for the random time selection that we doing, man, for this pregame live stream. This is just what worked out for my schedule this week because it's going to be a little busy one, man. But I do plan on pushing out some content this week, man. So make sure everybody is staying tuned. Make sure that you like this stream. And if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. We're going to let this intro play. And then, of course, we got to talk Giant versus Philly. Let's go.
I felt there was no better athlete on that field than me. I was the best athlete on the field, and in order to win, you have to beat me. If you can't beat me, then you can't win.
I tell you right now, you know everybody gonna watch this ass whoop my put on you, right?
It's your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant. It's a Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
Both feet down on the ground, and then it came out of the pile. This ball's thrown, and Tyree, that may be the greatest catch I've ever seen. And he lobs it, Burris alone, touchdown, New York.
Shout out to my guy Money Micahs who in the building. He says, TP, let's sweep these bums. That is a fact. That is a fact. That is the only thing on my mind right now, man. Born for Sports says he's checking in from work on his lunch break, man. New York Giants, salute to my guy Born for Sports. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Yes, man, we know why we are here. We know what is on the menu, man. It is rivalry week. It is New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. 2-5 versus 5-2 at Lincoln Financial Field, man. I'm not going to hold y'all. As big of a loss, man, that we took last week, one of the things that is really helping me move past last week, because honestly, every time I think about last week, every time it even pops up in my brain, it frustrates me. But when I think about the opportunities that is still had for the remainder of the season, man, one of the first things that comes to mind, man, is what we can do in this division. For quite some time, man, we have been the bottom feeders of the NFC East. And I could live with the fact of us sweeping the Eagles, of us splitting with the rest of the teams in this division. I want this game, and I want somebody to pay for our wrongdoings last week. The way we can build this momentum back up, because let's be honest, it is still in the middle of the season. And depending on how you look at the game, I know for me, last week was still a game that said the New York Giants dominated enough to where it could have very much have been a Giants win. So there's nothing in my brain that tells me that it's just so impossible that we can't go on a stretch for games to come. This is a little bit of positive P talking here, man. So I want this game versus Philly. I need this game versus Philly. It's going to be different than the first game, though. It's going to be different. The first game, we punched them in the mouth. and now it's blood. Now it's blood. So we can expect more of this game to be a little more competitive, and we could expect for it to be a little more just personal. We talked a lot of shit, rightfully so. And y'all know how this thing goes, man. Players hear it. And if they're anything like us, then it should fuel them. So we're going to break down, man, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, man, and kind of, talk through this thing. I do want to just bring up the fact that first, we have released Jude McCatney. He's gone. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And I said this last week. He had what was coming to him. And to be honest with you, he is lucky that he had a plane ride back to New Jersey. Because if it was up to me, he would have had to find his own flight. But we are expected for Graham Gano to be the leader in charge. I don't know what is going on with Young Who. Y'all know how the presser goes with Coach Dable. He dances around a lot of shit. I don't know why he wouldn't be the guy. I don't know how he's looked for Coach Dable not to just make that move. But it is looking like Graham Gano is supposed to be coming up off the IR situation and being the guy that's going to take kicker charges. I will be very critical of whoever steps on the field to kick these field goals. I will be super critical as to how that performance is, man. I will be. We also signed Corey Black, the guy that we drafted late in the draft this year, cornerback, which is telling me that there is a big chance that Paulson Adebo will not be playing this year. I said this year, this game, which I don't like. And as we talk about this game, this is where it gets a little tricky for me. Let's be honest, right? The last time that we played Philly, there was a lot left for Philly's offense to be desired on their end. A.J. Brown, it seemed as if we had a little bit of trouble guarding A.J. Brown. Paulson Adebo was getting worked a little bit, man. It was balled up that pick that Cordell Flott had. A.J. Brown was in the end zone, and he was supposed to get the rock there. And when I looked at the all-22, I'm not going to hold you, A.J. Brown was open. And so it is a legit concern that Paulson Adebo may not be playing. And so that leaves us with Deonte Banks. Whoa. I could already feel the uncertainty coming from everybody that is listening that is a Giant fans. Because anytime you mention Deonte Banks, I could expect tomatoes. But that's what we are left with. And just maybe there might be a sighting of Corey Black or whoever it is that is behind Deonte Banks. I don't think that the coaches were impressed with Deonte Banks. I think they're getting tired of him. And quite frankly, I can't sit here confidently and say that I don't know if the players are still trusting in Deonte Banks. I damn sure know that Coach Shane Bowen doesn't trust in Deonte Banks. And I think that is a lot of the reason as to why we ended the game versus the Broncos the way we did, dropping 8. That is my concern going into this game. I'm not going to hold you. This secondary. I don't know how Hurts is going to look. Jalen Hurts is going to look. We get two sides of him. You can get a Jalen Hurts that is on absolute fire, and then you can get a Jalen Hurts, man, that is looking very mediocre. But my mindset, and I hope the locker room's mindset is to go in this game expecting, the worst, expecting for Jalen Hurts to be on the money. Last week they faced the Vikings, and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown connected. So I'm not going to overreact on that and say like maybe that is the start to something, brewing there. But it is the responsible thing to do for us to say, okay, this is a legit concern. I have no doubt what we do up front. I mean, we're phenomenal up front. I'm not going to hold you, and we don't need to sugarcoat that. I also think that is where our advantage can be had. But in the same breath and time, I think it is the obvious thing to say. All in all, man, we just have to finish games, but in particularly on the defensive side of the ball. We learned the hard way, again, that 3 quarters isn't enough. And to be honest with you, it 4 quarters ain't enough. 4 quarters ain't enough. Like, we need to go a little bit past 4 quarters. We need to, like, I don't know about y'all, but when I play sports, and anytime, there was a situation where we had to run for something, right? And coach said, hey, run to this line right here. You didn't run to the line. You ran past the line. That is how we need to approach these games, man, from here on out. We don't need to just play to the fourth. We need to play past the fourth. Because I cannot stomach to have another situation that we had last week. So defensively, man, I have my questions. I think that if we handle the back portion, the passing game, I am fine with everything else. I think we've been doing a way better job at stopping the run. I think we've been doing a way better job at pursuits. I think we've been doing a way better job at being physical. These are the things that I'm not worried about. But when it comes to this secondary, I'm not going to hold you. That's where my concerns lie. Now, the offensive side of the ball, again, as long as we have JD6, I'm confident. We could expect for Darius Slayton to be back. He talked with the presser, man, kind of saying that he feels good. For some people, a lot of Giant fans, they don't even care for Darius Slayton to be back. But for me, for me being a Darius Slayton guy, and for me being someone who, is the receiver guy, I could also guarantee that Darius Slayton wants to get back into the action. He has seen some of the offensive success that has been happening on the field, and I promise you he wants a part of that. And I'm confident. I'm going out on a limb here, man, but I'm confident that Darius Slayton is gonna, come back firing, man. Up front, Landon Dickerson. He's had some ankle back injuries for the Eagles. He may be returning. He may be back. Cam Jurgens did not practice. I don't know what that situation is like. But all in all, man, that offensive line on the Eagles side of things can most definitely be had. For us, Brian Burns, he said that he expects to play. So that is a very good sign because I was nervous about that. I know he did not practice, but of course that's what we would expect. And yeah, as far as injury is concerned, I mean that's really all of the major things. But yes, I see my guy Purple and Gold Bars in the building. Says, "What up, TP? Hope you're having a great day so far, man." Yes, I cannot complain. I cannot complain at all, man. Let them live. Says, "Peace, my Giants, brother, man. New York Giants, salute to my guy. I see you." He says,
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
"We got to definitely learn to close the door on teams regardless, and it's definitely going to be a bit different. Stay blessed. Keep doing what you do. Giants, salute." Yes, sir, man. New York Giants, salute to my guy. Let him live. That is for sure, man. That is for sure. And the truth of the matter is, we've seen enough to know that we have the recipe. We have the talent. We good money and when it comes to that standing, man. But we know, man. It is about how we finish. It is about how we approach these games, man. I still stand in the fact that it does not matter where, we play teams or what teams that we do play. I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a damn about Philly. It's just about how we approach these games, man. That is the major thing. That is the major thing. And again, it just raises the question, man, as to who is in leadership. And to me, our coaching staff is the one that is really holding us back in that regard, man. It's really holding us back in that regard. I'm tired of week after week saying to myself that, you know what, this coaching staff has been through so much that they're going to learn from past things, and we're not going to endure certain things in this game and the next game to come. But that ain't been the case. So, like, when it comes to games in the future, when it comes to the game that we have versus the Eagles, it's just like one of those situations where it just leads me to believe, like, expect for us to drop the ball some way, somehow. Expect for us to look like the team that is clearly better than our opponents and clearly can get the W, but expect for us to do something that prevents us from getting a W. Now, the last time that I came up here and I was talking about the Eagles and I didn't necessarily see us winning, we went out there and smacked their ass. We went out there and smacked them. So I'm not putting a win or loss into the conversation. I see who is this? Izzy Moss says, "You guys are delusional." And this is also coming from an Eagle fan, which just makes absolutely no sense to me. Why are you even talking to us? You shouldn't be coming in here with any type of dip on your chip. Like, you need to come in here respectful. Again, there are teams that may be qualified to talk about the New York Giant football disaster. But guess what? Y'all are not one of those teams. I don't understand this. Are we just trolling today? Are we just trolling? He says, Lizzie Moss says, "Keep letting the media hype y'all up." We don't know. The media didn't hype y'all up. The fact is, the last time we played, we smacked y'all. We smacked y'all. That has nothing to do with the media. Are you just trying to forget about our last matchup? What is this trolling job here? What is this trolling job here? Izzy Moss also says, "We don't give a damn about the Giants." You don't give a damn about the Giants? You don't give a damn about the team that is the reason on why you endured a loss? Huh? You don't give a damn about the team that clearly looked better than y'all and clearly embarrassed y'all? You don't give a damn about that? I guess. If that's what football has come to, I guess. Money Mike says, same thing y'all said 2 weeks ago and blew you bums out with that overrated QB. I mean, am I tripping, Money Mike? Am I tripping? Maybe I'm calling it in the Twilight Zone or something. Like, I don't understand. I would have thought that all of the Eagle fans would come in this bitch a little more humble. Like, I don't understand how you even come in this chat like that. I don't know. I guess. Purple and Gold Balls says, this guy talking like the Giants didn't embarrass them in prime time. Purple and Gold. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm the one tripping. I clearly am not, because you see it the way I see it. He says, talk about delusions when you're clearly the one that's showing it the most. Yeah, I think a lot of the times, man, people just say things that they hear other people say. You know, I don't understand what's the delusion. I haven't said anything delusional. I think I've been keeping it quite even kill. Let Him Live says, I'm sick of every media outlet making excuses for this coaching staff in a whole. I don't get it. I am with you, bro. I am with you. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I, honestly, I don't even pay attention to mainstream media. My frustration lies with this fan base. I don't get this fan base. I don't understand how this fan base doesn't see it. That Coach Dable is not the answer. I've been using this analogy, man, all this week. And this is something, man, that I really need Giant fans to understand, man. And I said this last night when I was on a live stream with my guy Big Dash. Typically, us men, we are labeled the head of our households, right? Typically, that's how it goes. I know for me, I'm the head of my household, which means whatever that happens inside my house, I am responsible for. Whether it's good, whether it is bad, I'm responsible for it all. I am not just responsible for my son. I am not just responsible for my daughter. I am not just responsible for my wife. I am responsible for everything that happens inside my household. It is the same thing with Coach Dable appointed the head coach of this football team. He is the head. Pause if necessary. He is the guy that should be responsible for not just only the good, but for everything. Now, if he was the QB coach, if he was the offensive coordinator, fine. We could possibly have a different discussion about Coach Dable, but that is not the case. So it absolutely frustrates me that Giant fans look at Coach Dable as such. They look at Coach Dable like he is the head coach of the New York Jackson Darts. And that is just not the case, man. That is not the case. As a head coach, he is absolutely failing. He is absolutely failing. Again, when it comes to Jackson Dart being tied to Coach Dable, I don't understand how Giant fans always want to give Coach Dable the credit. They want to give him the credit. Forget the fact that Jackson Dart is playing above the X's and O's. Like, forget that. I'm not even talking about that. What bothers me is the inconsistency in the ideology, the train of thought. I'm not even going to butcher that shit. The train of thought in these Giant fans. You give credit to Coach Dable when he picks Jackson Dart, when he picks your quarterback. Kudos. Okay. But you don't blame him for getting Coach Shane Bowen. I don't understand that logic. And that right there just tells me that you're picking and choosing. It tells me that you're picking and choosing at that time. If you're going to give him credit for getting our quarterback in Jackson Dart, for going out there and saying, that's my guy, that's my quarterback, then you also have to blame him for saying, that's my guy, that's my defensive coordinator. because we all seen it on Hard Knocks. We all seen it in 4K. We all seen it when he rushed in the room and he went to Joe Shane and said, Coach Shane Bowen, that's the guy. So, again, man, there's just so many layers and so many things about this coaching staff, man, that can really be peeled back. And I really just don't understand how many more things does this coaching staff have to do? How many more excuses does this coaching staff get to use, particularly Coach Dable? How many guys does he get to throw in the front for it and put the blame on for y'all to realize that it is not it, man? This roster is more than capable of being a 2-win team. You blamed it on the quarterback. You blamed it on the defense. You blamed it on defensive coordinators. You did all of this shit. The excuses run out, man. He has his quarterback. We're still a 2-1 team. And we all know, y'all watch the games like I do. We all know that we're not a 2-win team because of play on the field. We know this shit. If better coached, if better putting our players in the right positions to succeed, we are definitely looking at this a whole completely different way, man. So it is frustrating when I hear Giant fans, you know, trying to credit this coaching staff, man, and not keep it funky, man. That shit bothers me. It bothers me. Shout out to my guy Iman Perry in the building. New York Giants. Salute to Iman. I see you.
It's all good, baby.
Izzy says, I'll give you credit. You did get that win. Yeah. Yeah. I would have thought so. Purple and Gold Ball says, you clearly care since you were in here talking. Okay, some batter. Some batter going back and forth. I love it, man. Shout out to my guy Prime 0718 in the building, man. New York Giants, salute. I see you.
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
My guy Let Him Live says, people talking just to be talking, fam. Yeah, I clearly see it. I clearly see it. Let me see. Let me get in on some of this action that's going in the comment section. I see y'all going back and forth, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, there's nothing that an Eagle fan can really say to me, man. They gotta show and prove. They gotta show and prove. And they better hope and pray that we don't sweep their ass. They better hope and pray. Speaking of that, man, we have an NFC East Soldier live stream coming up very soon. I'm trying to set it up for tonight. NFC East live stream. Y'all know how that goes. I can't wait to talk to my guy Jamal, man, who is the Eagle representative. Y'all know how that goes. So, look, man, keep your notification, situation set up, and be on the lookout for that. That should be fire. Also, man, make sure that y'all like this stream. I see y'all, getting after it a little bit in these comments. If you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. Also, one more thing before I on. Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM tees. It's in the description. All my New York Giant fans, man, go ahead, cop you one. Go ahead and cop you one. Show your love, show your support. Get you a Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM tee. All right, let's do some Twitter searching, man. Let's see, man. The first thing that I see up here is just Coach Shane Bowen, man. Let's see what he has to say here. Let's see.
Just curious, two quick ones. The offense scores a touchdown. Do you consult with Dave's about how you want to attack the next series against Dart? And just, I'm curious, Dexter Lawrence wasn't on the field in that three-man look on the completion and miss. Why wasn't Dex on?
Ask those questions.
Yeah, so I think me and Dave's are always in constant communication on game day. He knows what's going on. It's always back and forth as what he sees, what I see, along with our defensive staff. I think we got a good communication in terms of that on game day. And again, with Dex, I got to do a better job. I got to make sure he's out there on the field.
Woo! That was saying a lot right there. That was saying a lot. For one, I love the fact that they asked Coach Dable about this decision, and Coach Dable tried to dance around the shit. And see, this is why I don't like this motherfucker, man. I'm sorry. This is why I don't like him. Because they asked Coach Dable about it, and he tried to do his little wordplay situation, tried to dance around the questioning, do the whole nine, and tried to do everything except the full onus of it. Yeah, he tried to give you an indirect version of ownership, but he didn't step his feet on it. Coach Shane Bowen is letting it be known, like, oh, it is a dynamic where, yes, the conversation is most definitely being had. There is communication. So anything that you see being done, it definitely went past Coach Dable's eye. It went past his desk. So wear that jacket. And I like the difference between Coach Shane Bowen is, as frustrating as he is, I could better receive the fact that he owns up to his issues. You double down on shit when you clearly make a mistake and you don't have the accountability to it. And that's not even just on the football field. That's in life. That's in life. If you do me dirty, if you do me wrong, I could move past the fact if you have full ownership. Hey, TP, man, it was my bad on this. I did A, B, and C. I apologize. But if you do something wrong and you are just not really stepping into the accountability factor on it, and you over there telling me, but I was wrong, but I only did this because of I don't want to hear that shit. Be a man, be a grown woman, step into the accountability and tell me what it is. See, Coach Shane Bowen, he admits, he says, I have to do a better job. It was a misstep on my part not having Dex on the field. Not having Dex on the field. So when y'all ask me, what do you expect for Coach Dable to say? I expect him to stand on business. I expect him to be a man about a man about himself, and speak to his wrongdoings. Not that cookie cutter bullshit, having anything but ownership. So cat's out the bag. Again, this just goes to my point on what I said earlier. Coaching, head coach, in particular, head coach, you're responsible for it all. Everything comes across your desk. Everything that happens on the defensive side of the ball needs to be okayed by the head coach, needs to be overlooked by the head coach. Also, understand, if you are going to be mad at Coach Shane Bowen, you must first be mad at Coach Brian Dable. I know I love my analogies, but this is just another one that pops up in my head. If I walk the same path to work, if I walk the same path each and every day, and there is something in the street that I trip over, every single day I trip over the same shit, every single day, who is in fault? Who is in fault? The person that knows that there is something in the street right there and just continuously chooses to trip over that same thing? Or is it the construction workers that should have did whatever to change it, or blah, 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 or whatever? And I feel like that is the disconnect between a lot of us. That is the disconnect. Me, I'm worried about the things that I can control. I'm worried about the things that I can maneuver. Simple put, don't trip over the motherfucker. Walk around it. Step over it. And I say all of that to say, Coach Brian Dable, Shane Bowen is who he is. He has shown us he is who he is. So it is up to you to oversee certain things at certain points of the game. So that's why I'm not buying what y'all selling, man, trying to have selective outrage. Nah, man. Coach Brian Dable is definitely on this.
During the week, during the games. As like offensive head coach, what's your involvement in the defense during the week, during the games?
Ooh, back to back, I love it.
I know what they're calling. I know the plays. I listen to them. If I see something, I'll give it to them. But I want to let those guys do their job. I have a trust in Shane, the defensive staff. They work extremely hard to try to do the things we need to do. I thought there's been a lot of improvement the last few weeks. So I see something. I watch tape with them after practice, go through the practice, meet with those guys on what they're deciding to do, give them my 2 cents, but let them do their job.
Is it fair to say you're more hands-on in the offensive game planning, that process on, Monday?
I meet with all 3 phases, Dan. Do I spend quite a bit of time with the offensive guys? Certainly. But then I go and spend time with the defense, and then I go and spend time with Gobi and, watch all the games, tell them what I see, ask them what they see, have good communication in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Do we not see what I'm talking about? Do we not see what I'm talking about? The consistent bullshitting and the consistent wordplay? Do we not see? Like, it is just so, man, I don't know. I don't know how y'all defend this guy, man. I really don't know. Shout out to the Harlem Kid in the building, man. He says, I think most fans that don't want us to fire Dable just yet is because they are scared it might hinder Dart's QB development. Or his next coach might not have the same love for Dart that Dable does. Okay. Great point. And I'm glad you brought this up because this is a fact. This is a fact. But what I've seen enough from Jackson Dart to feel confident that whoever it is that we bring in will be just fine. Will be just fine. And that is also a part of the hiring process. That is why you have multiple sit-downs before you hire someone. You get their train of thought. You make sure they all are on the same page. You make sure that there is an understanding. You say to yourself, like, listen, Jackson Dart is our quarterback. As a GM or whoever, you say to that coach that is looking to be hired, Jackson Dart is our quarterback. We don't plan to move on from him. Can you make it work? Is there something that you can implement offensively to make sure that we are continuing to produce and that we don't hinder his growth? Like, these are the conversations that you have in the hiring process. So with that being said, I don't understand why people think that Jackson Dart and Coach Dable are just 2 peas in a pod and that one can't do good without the other. I really don't get that. I really don't understand that. No, I am pretty sure Jackson Dart will be just fine without Coach Brian Dable. I'm pretty sure. The next coach may not have the same love. I don't think any coach is going to have the same love that Brian Dable has for Jackson Dart. Let's be real. Let's be real. The way this man is infatuated with Dart. At times, I mean, again, we hear what he says. He's most definitely paying more close attention to the offensive side of the ball than any other aspects. But not even just the offensive side of the ball. He's paying more close attention to Jackson Dart than anything. And it is because his infatuation, his ego. He know that he picked Jackson Dart, and that is the leg that he's standing on when it comes to that. But I agree, man. This is definitely a train of thought by fans. Purple Gold Ball says, that's a great point, and it is a difficult decision to make. I hope you guys make the right one and keep on that upward trajectory. My guy, Purple Gold Balls. Iman, I see you. Let Him Live says, I respect him taking accountability and fault, but after the fact doesn't really help. Continuing to do the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. Just saying, brother, it's crazy. No, you're not lying. You are not lying, and I feel you. I'm not justifying the fact that just because you show accountability, it just makes everything A-okay. It's just differences as to how these coaches handle things, and I feel like it's even worse when you double down on mistakes. It says a lot about the leader of men. Born for Sports says clown ass pressers. Yes, that's for sure what you're gonna get for Coach Dable. Iman says, yeah, he spends a lot of time with Jackson Dart. Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Trying to bullshit his way around what it really is. Purple Gold Ball says, Extremely well said, TP. Sounded like a prophet out here. Big ups to you. Shout out to my guy, Prope and Gold. I see you. Born for Sports says, Dark can be a franchise QB without Dable, especially if it's a better coach than Dable is. I don't get how fans think differently. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm telling you. Could you imagine what Dark would look like with Cliff Kingsbury? Like, could y'all? I'm not even gonna get into that. I told everybody I'm gonna wait, but I'm just saying, there's some offensive minds out there that would have no problem with Dark. My guy H-Town is in the building. Shout out to H-Town.
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
He says this coaching staff has reached a ceiling. Nothing more they can show us. It's at its maximum potential with the staff. Need to not waste any more of the young talent and get the right coaches in here. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is it. This is the comment right here. This is the comment right here. This is maximum potential with this staff. This is it. This is it. I love this. Very well said. Very well said. Let's see, man. Let's see what Pat Leonard has to say. He says, Giants coach Brian Dable, who is under investigation for violating the NFL's concussion protocol, was asked today if center John Michael Schmidt is going to go to a neurologist Friday to get cleared. He says you have to ask the doctors about the concussion protocol. Pat is petty. He is petty for that. Let's see. Let's see if we found anything else, man. Here we go. Okay, that's something that we spoke to earlier.
Critical because
shout out to Grid Iron Media.
Points critical
saying
because
this is what I want in my
points
quarterback.
critical because points
That's a
critical
fact.
because points critical because
That is a fact, man. We got us a dog, man. We got us a dog for sure. Let me see. I haven't really had active as Twitter as I really want to. Yeah, I've seen this. This is actually hard right here. This is tough. I seen this, man, and I couldn't help but to think about, my guy Malik, man. I couldn't help but This is tough. It's tough. I ain't gonna hold you. Like it right there, man. Ain't nothing like it right there, man. Shout out to my dog Leak. We ain't forget about you. Let him live in the comments says Dart plays above coaching right now, if you ask me. I really don't think Dable's teaching / coaching is all people crack it up to be. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Shout out to Brian Howard in the building. Saying what up in the chat, man. I see you.
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
My man Mikey G is in the building saying what up. I see you, my boy. Yeah, Iman says that's cold. That's a fact. Look, I want to play this. I don't know how this is going to go. This may pull my stream down if I play this. I don't know, but it's worth it because this edit was so hard. So if this is the end of the stream, y'all know what happened, but I want to play this edit right here because it was tough money.
I do have to ask, Cam Scatterboo.
Ooh.
I was like, oh no, not my dog ZB.
That's one of those guys you watch on film and you're like, dang, he runs hard. But you don't really know until you feel it yourself.
I'm a gorilla in a fucking scoop. Finna pull up the zoo. Nigga, who the fuck is you? I don't know, nigga. No, nigga. Pull up on your block. We gon' blow, nigga. Go, nigga. Run for the pole, nigga. Hey, please.
Oh, I had to move on. I ain't want to get copyrighted on that, man. That's my man Scat. Yo. Also, I wanted to show this, man. This is the reception that he got at Madison Square Garden. I love it. See, this is what happens, man, when you go out there and you play with the intensity that my man Scat plays with, man. You get received well. You get received well. I respect it. I respect it. This was something right here. This was something right here that I could agree with. I could definitely agree with. This is Evan Knows Ball says, I miss game on the line, drop your balls and send in a blitz instead of the rush 3 rollover and die defense. Let's yeah.
Dime package on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, Tibbs.
Jackson loses the ball. Pump free. The ball still rolling. The Giants jump on it.
It's a fact.
Thibodeau with the strip.
Oh my God, what a time.
Big Blue with a big play.
What a time. What a time this was, man. What a time this was. Look at the people all on their feet, going bananas. Look at all the blue. 2022, man. What a time this was. What a time this was, man. Look at what's going on up front. Look at how Coach Wink sent all the dogs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dime package on 2nd and 10.
All going to go
Jackson
hunt.
loses the ball.
All going to go
Pump free.
hunt right there. That's how you close out a fucking game. That's how you close out a game. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. H-Town, I see you. He says, it's clear coaches don't know how to manage games, make proper situational play calling, adjustments. The staff is hindering the roster. No situational awareness since Tom left year after year. Disaster. That is a fact, man. That is a fact. Harlem Kid says, I would love Rex Ryan as our defensive coordinator, but he probably wants to be head coach. I don't want him as a head coach. Yeah, I agree. I would like Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator, for sure. You definitely speak in different language when you're talking about him as a head coach, because I think it's a little – I think his ways may be a little outdated, and I don't know how the players will receive Rex Ryan as much. But as a defensive coordinator, oh, for sure. For sure. He is definitely that aggressor, and he's definitely going to be that guy, man, that has no problem sending those dogs up front. And he, make no mistake about it, he'll wear that hat. He'll wear that hat. Iman Perry says, I thought we was going to win the Super Bowl the following year. Real talk. Oh, my God. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I thought this was it. Let Them Live says Wings defense was on lock. That is for sure. H-Town says Giants beat the Patriots in Super Bowl by dominating the trenches. Facts. And pressing the receivers, imposing their will. Just can't understand how Bowens hasn't made that adjustment in games, giving up 33 in the fourth. And that is the thing, man. It's the New York Giant way. It's the New York Giant way. For us to defensively be the team that has that New York Giant defense that really, to be honest with you, and I've said this even prior to playing the Broncos, that's why I was a little jealous of what they did on the defensive side. I was jealous because I'm like, man, they're doing what we should be doing. They're playing our style of defense. If you look at how they close games, they'll send them. They'll send them. And they'll drop back, to kind of confuse the quarterback a little bit. They'll drop one back and things like that. But for the most part, they wear it. They wear it. And that's just definitely how our defense is tailor-made for that, for sure. Iman says, it's Dable's ego took over. And grand opening, grand closing. That's a fact. Harlem Kid says, Brian Flores would be picked to be our head coach. Yeah, I like Flores. Oh, okay, H-Town is on it. He says Flores still has the lawsuit going against the Giants, unfortunately. But I agree with you. Brian Flores, to me, would have been one of the perfect candidates in my book, but that's not happening. That's not happening. With this lawsuit going on, man, it's just not happening. Oh, another thing. Tiki Barber. I don't know if y'all heard this yet, but Tiki Barber kind of said this after the Bronco game. I don't know if y'all heard this or not, so I'm going to just play it for the people who have.
In order to be a good coach, you have to have winning pedigree, a winning culture. It's not there. And there are many reasons why. I know we won Coach of the Year in 2022, but for the last 2 years, they are not a winning organization. And so the reason you don't throw the ball there is because you haven't earned the right to do that. You haven't earned the right to be aggressive. Now, if you've done it multiple times and it's worked and you win games and you get to the postseason, you're doing X, Y, Z, Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down for no damn reason, right? You trust Dan Campbell to do it. Why? Because it works for Dan Campbell. I didn't trust the moment. And so you have to default to what you're supposed to do. And what you're supposed to do is run the clock so that they are forced to use all 3 of their timeouts. Because I can't express to you how game-changing emotionally it is to happen. What happened to the New York Giants, how lifting it is for the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos were dead in the water. They were dead. At home, dead. The fans were gone. They were leaving the arena.
Hey, a lot of people, for whatever reason it is, man, they don't like Tiki Barber. And for those who know me, man, Tiki Barber is like my favorite New York Giant of all time. The man is talking facts right here, man. The man is talking facts. Like, y'all can be mad at the messenger all you want, but Tiki be on it, man. Tiki be on it. And the reason why people be mad is the same reason people be mad at me. It's just, y'all, we call it how we see it. We call it how we see it. Your favorites, they deserve to be called out. They deserve to be called out. H-Town says, oh, my fault. I already read that. Let Him Live says, back end playing 10, 15 yards off in critical moments. Story of our life, man. H-Town says, if the staff gets them to 500 in next couple games and ends with above 500 season, does that change the outcome of the regime staying longer and fan base being content about them staying? I know as far as the fan base and the New York Giant organization is concerned, most definitely. Most definitely. As far as I am concerned, there's just different factors, man, that have to be played into this. I have to see us with a winning game streak, and we have to do it in a sense of give me 8, 9 wins of the season. Give me 8, 9 wins of the season to show me something. And in that, you got to give us divisional wins. You got to give us divisional wins. So anything less than that, man, anything less than that, honestly, there is just nothing, absolutely nothing that says he should be the coach. Nothing. And again, I think he should be gone already. Like, I think he should have been gone. But if there's a world, if we're talking about anything that could keep him, you got to give me 9 wins, 8, 9 wins of the season. 8, 9 wins. Brian Howard says, facts. Barber just called it straight, no chaser. However, Malik Neighbors has something to say about Tiki, which I don't even agree with. I don't agree with. When Tiki, I wish I had
in order to beat
another. I wish I had another clip.
Be a good coach.
Of what Tiki also said about that game, where I think Malik was really talking about. But I don't agree with Malik on this one, man. But I understand it, because at the end of the day, he's going to defend his quarterback. He's going to defend his teammate. So I understand it. I'm not really too mad at that. But I stand on what Tiki said, even in that. I'm not really mad at it. And I don't even think he was shooting that dart. I don't even think what Tiki said was like more of a dart thing. I think he was just really saying, like, at some point the moment could be too big for Dart after he's already won you the game. Like, make it easy for him. I think Tiki was really trying to convey that point. Dart already did the hard part. He already won the game. So make it easy for the rookie. So, I mean, I'm not really too mad at that. Harlem Kid says, if Giants win 6+ games, Dable ain't going nowhere. That's a fact. That's a fact. He damn sure isn't. H-Town says they definitely have to play like this the first 3 quarters of last game for the rest of the season to stay, in my opinion. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. This is something that I clipped up, man. This was the Broncos versus the Jets. And I say, before our game versus the Broncos, I watched their game versus the Jets. I said I was jealous after seeing how they send their dogs to go hunt with all the confidence in the world. Game on the line, look at what happened. So this is the week before we played the Broncos, and look how they finished the game. It's 4th and 8. The Jets need this first down right here. It's 1 minute to go, 14 seconds. Look how they end the game.
Of the game as the Jets are out of timeouts. Fields.
Look at everyone that they're sending. Look at everyone that they are sending.
Avoids the sack
Grand
until
opening.
he can't.
Grand closing. Grand opening. Grand closing. And you mean to tell me that we can't do that with the defensive line that we have? With the firepower that we have? You mean to tell me we can't do that? Yeah, okay. H-Town says Tiki comes off as a dick, but he just points out the obvious without holding back everyone else. Loves to sugarcoat the dumpster fire and keep a hog in the dress. That's a fact. That is a fact. And that's why a lot of people be mad at me. Money Mike says, I like Cliff Kingsbury or Nick Saban as our head coach. I would offer Dart College coach Lane Kiffin the offense co-position. H-Town says, yeah, I like Cliff, man. I like Cliff for sure. Cliff is definitely nice. H-Town says, Giants definitely played 3 quarters to win and the last one to lose. Super scary. Timid, no belief whatsoever that they was going to win or keep the lead. Scare play never gets you anywhere. That's a fact. That is a fact. I just posted a video, if you haven't seen it, and it was about my reaction to what Aqib Talib had to say, getting on Jackson Dart. And the people in the comments, they getting at me or whatever, and I think some people fail to realize, I think, first of all, let me say this. I think Aqib Talib definitely hating on Jackson Dart. I think that's the case. But I think 2 things can be true. I think that he could also be speaking facts, and he could be hating at the same time. In the video that I was referring to when he was talking about Jackson Dart, especially in his performance versus the Broncos, what he did was he sprinkled the truth on top of a bullshit narrative. And there's a thing with Giant fans where Giant fans do not like to hold their favorite players accountable for anything. When we are talking about the Bronco game, when we're talking about any game, I just don't respect not keeping the same energy with everybody. Now, that's not me saying that, Jackson Dart deserves to be crucified or anything like that. Absolutely not. But I pointed it out in the film, so I'm not just talking. Y'all, I have a all 22 film review video that you could go see on where I am backing up what I'm saying. Dart looked like complete ass in a late game stretch of that Bronco game. Looked like complete ass. And I think it is okay to speak to that, and I think it's okay to point that out without being over the top crucifying him. And so I think, me and Tiki are kind of similar in that. Like, we'll point it out. And there'll be Giant fans who just see it as like, you must not say nothing about King Dart. when it's like, nah, that's not how I operate. You know, we was talking about this again last night on Dash's stream. He remembers when last year Malik Neighbors dropped the ball in that Commander game. I was the one that was fired up about that shit. That cannot happen. A lot of people getting on me. How can you be mad at Leak and da-da-da-da-da? And look, man, I don't care who you are. I don't care how talented you are. You're not above criticism, and I stand on that. And that's my style of things over here. So, I mean, hey, that's how I do. H-Town says, to make lemonade with lemons of a wide receiver room, it's a bunch to be said. But coaches just have no understanding how to stop the bleeding and fold like a lawn chair, especially when the pressure gets tight. That is a fact. That is a fact. Money Mike says, if you follow Talib, he doesn't like Dart because the Giants drafted Dart over Shador. He's OD biased for Shador. And I definitely believe that to be true. Again, I think Talib comes from the standpoint of being biased and hating. So I'm not oblivious to that. But I do think that even in the midst of his hate, there was truth sprinkled into what he was saying. But let's not get it twisted. Yeah, he's definitely hating on Jackson Dart. He's definitely hating on him. And he's not really, when it came to what he was saying, he wasn't really speaking the truth as far as the totality of what Jackson Dart is to the NFL and to the New York Giants. My guy Iman Perry says, I got on Neighbors for running lazy routes when he wasn't getting the ball. Like, this is the things, man. These are the things where, like, people just fail to say things about certain players just because they let their fandom, overshadow this type of stuff. And I don't know. I don't be with that. But, anyway, I know we kind of got off a tangent here. It wasn't really much Philly talk because I don't really think there's too much to be said. I mean, we know what we need to do. We know our style of play that needs to be played. We know very much that we are capable of walking in their trap, taking over their trap. We know this. So I don't think there's anything much more to really say about that. But again, it's not about us doing that. It's not about our opponents. It's not about much more anything less than putting ourselves in the best position. I can't wait till we have a day to where we are consistently out-coaching the opponents, because that will be the day where New York Giant football is back. It's back. So we do have more to look forward to, and it starts here as well with this divisional game versus the Eagles. The Broncos game, it definitely was a gut punch. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But if we could beat Philly, if we could walk in their trap, take over their trap, if we could go ahead and sweep Philly, well, ladies and gentlemen, I could definitely sleep well at night. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me. NFC East Social live stream is coming soon. So make sure that y'all stay on the lookout for that. It might be tonight. After the Eagles, that still remains. Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM, man. I'll holler at y'all. And until I holler at y'all, peace.
Fee-Fi-Fo-FUMM.
Peace, y'all.
AKA Lion, AKA Tiger, how we swinging nine, walking through the fire, certified pioneer. Yeah. Keep applying pressure to the foes, going closer than I can hit. Closer than my abyss. Keep away the giant hit.